Hello, South Lebanon family. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're enjoying this well deserved break. I wanted to reach out to you via a weekly rundown. If you recall, I was doing these throughout the last part of the year when we were in school, just to give you some weekly updates about what's happening in the building. And I want to continue to do that over the summer, give you weekly updates as they come through from what we're working on here in the district, what current guidance from PDE, CDC, etc. So, I want to talk about where we are right now, where we're heading, some of the things that are staying the same as tentative plans, and what's new coming down the pipe. But please know that all of these plans are subject to change as we move forward and we get new guidance because the guidance is changing constantly. So, where we are, well, obviously, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. We are at the time of this recording, we are still planning on opening schools as normal. I think it's really important. I think you'd all agree with us that we're better together and we want to be back in school with our kids, but we want to do it in a manner that's safe. So some of the things that we'll end up planning may not look as normal as you'd like. It may not be ideal, but at the end of the day, we're still getting kids in our seats and in their seats and learning because face-to-face instruction is way better than online instruction. So here's where some of the things that at this time I plan on keeping the same. If I can help it, if I'd like to keep the schedule the same. So that's one thing that's a constant. The schedule is the same. Some of that's going to depend on guidance and how I have to spread kids apart. So we'll play that by ear, and I will continue to inform you. Our curriculum is the same. Our curriculum is solid. We've got Eureka Math starting, regardless of what happens with school. We've got Eureka Math starting. It's a solid math curriculum for our kids. It's going to give our kids great foundational skills. Our SOAR program. We're going to continue our SOAR program here at South Lebanon. We might make some tweaks to continue to make it better, possibly align it to the Wings of Praise program that's going on at the middle school and high school, but we're going to keep SOAR. And finally, the next thing that will stay the same is students will travel to lunch. They will not be eating in the classrooms as of now. I'm working on some logistical plans to make sure that I can socially distance the cafeteria, which in turn may cause me to change the schedule, but I think I have a way that I won't have to change the schedule. So I want to talk about some of the new things. So as you know, if you were involved in Dr. Demensik's address on Friday, we've got a cyber option that's going to be available for kids. That's a Cornwall Lebanon cyber option. It's not the C3 program. This is a in-house cyber option, and teachers are reaching out to Joe Burton, who's going to be the administrator for the cyber program, to express whether or not they're interested in teaching in the cyber world. And those teachers would be online teachers, Cornwall Lebanon online teachers. They're not teachers from outside of the district, as C3 would be. The cyber option is going to be a fully synchronous cyber option where teachers will be on-site teaching, kids will be at home learning, and there'll be live lessons throughout the day. Social distancing in the classrooms is something that's going to be new and different. We have worked, the administrative team had a meeting here at South Lebanon the other day, and we went into Amy Kirsch's classroom for no other reason. It was the closest one to the LGI. And we went in Amy's room. We set up Amy's room to look socially distant and what it would look like. We have our desks about 4 feet apart. And that's front and back and diagonal. They're definitely rows. There's no tables in the room, and that's something that's going to be different for us. Is we're really not going to be able to have those tables and learning centers, especially in our primary grades, that we typically would. Guiding reading is going to have to look different. That might involve pulling kids out into the hallway in the pods, wearing masks with a primary assistant or an aide, but in small groups and being able to spread out. But we're going to have to adapt, and we're going to have to make adjustments as we go. So social distancing in the classroom will have to happen. Our students are going to have to wear face coverings in the classrooms. That's we can't spread kids 6 feet apart, which the order says if you can't get 6 feet apart, you have to wear face coverings. And I'm going to call them face coverings because the district has ordered some face shields for staff, and we're looking at possible options for face shields or coverings for students as well. Hallway travel. So one of the things that is new and different is we're going to keep our classrooms self-contained. Um, what I would like to do is continue to switch for specials and take your kids to the special area classrooms. Again, that's going to depend on some direction from PDE and how we can move about our buildings. But we are going to be self-contained classrooms where our classrooms will be, we're not going to switch for content areas, especially in our upper grades. And we're going to have to kind of maintain ourselves in our classrooms throughout the day. That'll help us with contact tracing in the event that a student does get COVID. That'll help us. So, and then finally, as I said, face coverings were going to be worn by staff and students in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Again, we're going to look at face shields and things like that. So that's where we're at right now. I do want to address, some of you may have heard that other buildings are doing focus groups and pandemic team planning, and I'm also planning on doing that. I'm going to get the building leadership team together that I put together last year, and I'm going to send out some dates for the building leadership team to meet and run over some of the ideas that I have, gather input from them on what school looks like for our for the 2021 school year. And please note that whatever changes we make are temporary changes until we get through the pandemic. And I have every intention of moving back to the way things were, unless we find something great that's working better the way we're doing it now. So again, this is just an update. Plans are subject to change as always, and I'll keep you updated weekly as I get new updates. Thanks. Have a great summer, and we'll see you soon.